Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Living World of Darkness Rage Across New York. We will come in on a scene where Kotori is fuddling with his den. Goodness knows what he's doing with it, but all the same, it is a place outside the apartment, and it is a place where Maeve can actually come to see if he's about without having to go home and be perhaps reminded of her loss. And as such, we will enter in with Kotori doing whatever in the world he's doing, and Maeve approaching slowly, somewhat tentatively, ears up, alert. Goodness knows what kind of mood the den daddy is in right now. So we'll go with a more reserved approach.
Mm. Kotori, as of right now, he is in. Huh. Actually, now that I think about it, Kotori is not really in. He's not really in lupus, and that's quite rare. Actually, he is. He is in Hamid, working on something, which from a distance it seems like he is carving something out of wood with a knife. Or rather, no, not a knife, because that's silly. He's carving it with claws because he changed his hand.
That's not worrisome. Not at all. Well, Maeve will
You
make
can make
a
a you can make a either perception empathy if you want to see how he feels, or you can make a and you can make a perception alertness to see what he's carving.
I will do both because I am a glutton for punishment. So, perception alertness first to see what he's making. One, two, three, four.
He's making a Pegasus effigy.
All right. And then two, three, four, five, six, seven. For perception empathy. One, two, three, four, five.
Uh, he's in a full mood.
A what?
he's he's in a full mood. A is that yeah, that's the right word. He's not very happy. You can clearly see that he's probably concentrating to not think about certain things.
Ooh. Well, foul mood, even better. She'll just kind of tentatively approach. If she gets looked at, she'll pause to bare throat, but will come to settle in and sit alongside him, not interrupt by talking. Just kind of settle in and hope he's not mad enough to do anything crazy.
I'm all about crazy. um, he continues to work on uh, on his carving, not saying anything. He, after a few minutes of awkward silence, he put he put down the effigy and turns to look at you. Good evening, Maeve.
Hi, Katori.
So, how have you been?
Pretty good, actually. Well, I mean, since this, no. I mean, you can pee in here. In fact, actually, you probably don't even need to. You've been a wolf. She's probably partially in this form to hide the fact that she tends to have a red face and kind of swollen eyes and whatnot from crying constantly. But no, there's all the telltale signs of canine depression, pretty much. She's been hit pretty hard.
Mm. Hmm. So, what have you been up to?
Been doing a lot. Lucas and I have been up to all sorts of stuff. We even managed to help when the others went to clear the tree. I mean, we couldn't go, but we still helped.
Hmm. Why don't you talk to me about it?
And she'll kind of set herself up a little bit, kind of sit more formally almost, just less of the kind of slumped posture she had before. Cause story time. Well, they went to clear the tree, and obviously we couldn't go, being cubs and all. Uh, but as they were leaving, I want to say it was half Lucas's idea too. We went out and um, I've been feeding the doves while the children of Gaia had no Garu, so I was very low on Gnosis, and we went to hunt an Ingling,
Hmm.
and it was awkward, but we did it, and I thanked it, and then we went to Rabbit, because there have been a lot of rabbits around lately, since Kailani doesn't touch the ones with nail polish. So we went to the rabbits and spoke to them.
Nail polish?
Oh, you hadn't heard about that? She kind of flicks her ears back a little, like, ah, shit. So the first time Kailani took us hunting, Lucas caught that rabbit in Hamid, when he was kin.
Hmm.
And he knew that, well, Kailani knew he wasn't going to want to let it go because he wouldn't want her to kill it. And so on the farm, if you need to mark an animal in a way that won't hurt them, but also won't wear off quickly, you mark their fur or their feathers or their nails or their feet. You mark part of them with nail polish so that you can tell them apart because there's so many colors. It doesn't hurt them. It just works. So we got some nail polish and painted two of its feet before it decided that was enough of that and ran off. And since then, Lucas had caught a couple more and painted them, so she was very confused. But all the ones with nail polish weren't being killed, so population's up a little. She'll shrink a tiny bit because he doesn't look terribly entertained.
I guess a Ragabash will always be Ragabash.
Nod.
All
But
right.
so we went to the rabbits, and I spoke to them, and I asked them if they could lend some of their agility to the people who were on that fight. If they could go and give them some sort of blessing. And I offered them Gnosis, and they said it wasn't enough. And I asked how much they wanted. And so they kind of said all of it. So I kind of gave it to them. And they all ran off, and apparently it was some sort of big deal. They're halfway, like they're going down into this tree and killing monsters, and the rabbits came and gave them. They said they were rabbit feet, which seems weird, but they brought that to all of the people who were in there. And I mean, I was stuck for a little bit, but then Olaf came into the Umbra and reminded me and taught me how to meditate, and I was able to regain it and get back out without any issue. I wasn't really worried about it. I would have only been stuck there for a day since it was on the care or on the sept. I was somewhere safe. I promise I was thinking. It was worth it to make sure they all came back. Grab.
He's grabbing you by the ear.
She'll yelp.
And he makes you, come to him.
She'll do it. She'll shuffle over.
And he just, take the ear. And he goes near the ear. You never, ever gives away all your gnosis at once. Release the ear.
She'll whimper and slump back down. She won't like move away, but she'll drop back down.
What you did was a good thing. However, what you did and how you did was the problem. To give away all your noses at once for those rabbits. It's not something that you should have done. Generally, spirits, they will ask things. Of course, they will ask all the noses that you have. They need it. They feed of it. The more they can get, the better they feel, the better they are. You should always remember to keep one
And she nods. I thought
one
about
small
it.
fringe of this gnosis. Yes, you're on set ground. I get it. But if you did it once, then you will probably do it a second time. Because you will think, oh, it's okay. It's just for one day. Or even few. But that's not something that you should do lightly.
Well, I also didn't understand completely. I've heard that when you lose all of your rage, you change back to your base form. And I thought that if you lost all of your gnosis, you'd just kind of pop out back into the world because I figured that made sense.
Why didn't you seek another theurge to help you with this?
Well, everyone that I knew of had gone to clear the tree except for Lucas and I, and we wanted to help.
Wasn't Jesus the Storm around?
I guess so.
He's giving you the silent treatment.
She slumps all the way down onto her belly. She's yeah, she's all the way down on her belly by now. She just looks pitiful.
Did you summon those?
Summon? No, I don't know how.
Exactly. At least that's something good. Now the problem I see is that you take initiatives, and it's good. The only problem is that you're only grasping exactly what you can do. And as of right now, well, I explained to you how Chimidage works, and you didn't try to find a solution to a Chimidage. You went for the easy road, which is give away your gnosis, but then you went and trapped in the Umbra without thinking. At least now I'm thinking if I should actually, well, you kind of need it anyway, but now I'm frightened about what you would do if I give you the secret for summoning the spirits.
She kind of sets her ears back a little and she says, I wouldn't do something like that lightly. I don't like the idea of summoning them away from what they're doing. Besides, after that whole thing with Kachina, sometimes they show up angry, and I would rather talk to things that I can go and find without having to summon them.
Mm. The results are good anyway. Fortunes, as I think your kind say, smile upon those that dare make the step. Or something like that anyway.
Something like that.
Sometimes you have to take initiatives to help the others. But you should also know how to bargain or deal with the spirits.
I'm sorry that I did it without learning more, without asking someone for help. I never thought that they would ask for all of it. So far, every time I've spoken to a spirit, usually offering one or two is enough.
No, you should think of it like that. If I were to ask, if I were to ask um, someone to do something very big, would they ask something big in return?
Of course.
Of course they would. You asked not for a single blessing. You did not ask for some meaningful help. You asked for something big. You asked for all those rabbit spirit to bless a group of Garu. The last time, mm, the last time we had something like that, no members of a sept could eat fish for a whole month. The last time we had this, we had those who are with mates had to make a ritualistic dance with them. When I had to ask for Bear and Black Unicorn to bless me with her powers, I had to help Valley grow back stronger. I had to help the kinfolks to tend to themselves rather than ask for help from others. If you do not ask, if you ask the spirit, what is it that you want? They will ask for the bigger part of the bargain. They will ask for things bigger. Generally, it kind of works just fine. But it is better if you go to a rabbit or any other spirit. It is better if you actually try to understand what spirit you're trying to invoke. What is his purpose? What does he do? How he does things. Those might help you to grasp better at what it means to give them power. Spirits of war, they will ask actions related to war. But if the spirit of war is acts toward protection, and maybe he will accept an offering of you, such as I will help the kinfolks to defend themselves. I will craft a weapon and dedicate it to you. There are multiple ways to please the spirits. You didn't have time to think, and you don't have all the knowledge that you need.
She's nodding
I would
along a little bit.
I would prefer for you to have one who knows about those things, or one that doesn't necessarily mean needs to be a theurge. As long as you have someone who understands the spirits or has been dealing with them, then you will be able to strike a better bargain.
She'll nod. I know it's not the same, but he was there with me, and he did go and find Olaf and bring him back.
Mm,
So, I mean, I know it was hasty, but they had just left, and I very much wanted them to be safe. So maybe I didn't think very clearly.
mm. Your intentions are good. However, when Callie was keeper of the land,
She deflates immediately.
she also felt that what she was doing was good. It made great good to the Sept, but she put her life in jeopardy. She was struck back by Grandfather Thunder taking the punishment on herself. She went to Wendigo trying to save Kachina's life, and she did. But by acting alone, she was also dragged along with Blitzkriegs, and she could have died because she went there alone, because she thought that what she was going to do, she needed to do it to save everyone. But even if she was not a Theurge, the road of the one who deals with spirits is filled with martyr. Sometimes it is the thing that we choose. But you're too young to show such, well, maybe because you're too young. But it is dangerous to show such recklessness. Rabbits, they are fine. They are not one to be mean or to endanger others. But maybe someday there will be those that you care, those that you hold dear to your heart. They will be going someplace very dark, a place of danger. And then you will thought, I want to help them. And then the spirit that you will have ask, seeing your desperation, maybe he will help you, or maybe he will think, well, she is desperate. Maybe I should go with something that would suit my need.
She nods understanding.
Spirits are allies. It doesn't mean that they have to be reasonable. I would hate for you to lose a limb because a spirit would have said, I will save your friend in exchange of a limb. You need to take a step back sometimes. Take a step back from your emotions and see the intricate road of what every choice may lead. Because sometimes emotions run hot, and the other way around is not even better. Because if you keep them all inside you, then one day either you will explode of rage, or perhaps way worse, you will become cold, very cold and clinical. You will see things, people, as tools, objects. Maybe you will think, it's okay, I do it for the better of everyone. This person, she's important, just as anyone else. Maybe she should just die.
She has at this point gotten to looking very uncomfortable. She's, been looking down at her feet. At this point, she's kind of lifting a paw and futzing with her pinched ear, and generally just kind of fiddling in Lupus, because she is getting to the point where it's not just something she can stand there and listen to and just keep calm about. It's gotten a little serious.
He puts a hand on her head. You have a lot of interest in heart, and you care for people. I told you you should not change that.
And she noses up into
I
his palm a
still,
little more.
I still believe it. But I don't want you to be a martyr.
I can't keep doing good if I'm dead.
Exactly. Even if you bring down the true enemy of a nation with you. And he's going to hug her because he needs his hugging.
Well, she can't exactly hug back. She's lacking in the
Mm.
arms department, but she nestles into him and like nuzzles all up into his neck and his shoulder and just makes mild, happy woofing noises and just puppy hugs. She'll probably actually worry at his shirt a little, the kind of grooming nibble, like start fiddling with his shirt and
Mm. Yeah, you can also feel something wet against your fur.
she'll nudge in a
You
little.
can you can probably guess
Yeah, she'll
why.
she'll nudge in a little and kind of hook her chin around his neck. And again, she can't really hug with arms, but she can
Mm.
kind of arch her neck around him and pull him in that way. Thankfully, tears aren't something she can really do, but so well in lupus. But
Mm.
it's the tail is still it's shuffling right to left, but it's very low. It's a very tight, anxious sort of gesture instead of being, her usual blatant puppy happiness. She's hurting too.
Mm.
And after a couple moments, she'll start licking his face. Just anything to try to startle him out of his bad mood, maybe make him laugh a little bit.
So, have you done anything else?
She tenses slightly. Yeah.
Takes a step back, grabs grabs the head, locks locks contact.
Smush puppy face.
Is there anything that you wish to tell the den father?
It would be a lot better if Lucas was here to tell you. Droop. So there are
Where is Lucas?
I don't know, I haven't seen him. I texted him, I told him I was coming over to see you. But I knew you were out of the apartment, so he was with me on all these things. I feel like he'd say it better.
Explain to me in your own words and not in the words of the very talkative Ragabash.
Well, this one actually isn't bad. I heard the howl go out that there were 3 Fianna here. They're actually here from Ireland. Or Scotland, but they're here. My uncle sent them here. And when I heard they were here, someone said that maybe they were here to take me, and I got very upset and very worried. And after everything happened with Callie, I couldn't stop crying. And so finally I got this idea in my head that I would go talk to them and see if I could find out why they were here and if I could help them. And I think Lucas just wanted me to stop crying. So he said, sure. So we went to the hotel they were staying in. Lucas knew where it was, and we talked to them.
Kotori takes a very strange look. Talk to who?
The one that we actually talked to the most, her name was Aylin. I can't I'm sorry, I can't remember her deed name and everything else, but the three of them came
Oh.
because a cairn fell, the cairn of the stone fell recently, and they were here
Hmm.
to investigate. They have not been introduced to the elders yet, and they are anxiously awaiting so that they can get what they need to do done. So we went
Hmm.
and Lucas cooked them breakfast to put them in a little bit of a better mood, and we talked about what had happened and why they were here, and we told them what we knew. They showed us a body from the people who attacked, and they had a patch on them. They were wearing kind of almost military gear. They were mercenaries, I guess, but they showed us a patch they were wearing, and I recognized it. That Mr. Greenlee person that Cinna knows, he has personal security, and they wear the same symbol. And I told them that we knew that, and I told them that we knew that he had a white howler tattoo on his back. Yeah, that's what she did. Like literally the exact same thing. Backs up a tiny bit. Get a little bit out of reach. At least if he's going to grab her ear again, he has to lean for it. I we spoke to them, we gave them information, we told them who they would need to talk to. I talked to Senna afterwards to ask her if she could talk to Morning Kill and see if they could do the proper greetings and maybe not have it take days and weeks to do. They're only here until Christmas. So we just help spread that to the right person. Deflates further as she's talking. No one has gone to see them
So,
since they got here. So we thought maybe if we came to greet them and see what they needed, we could help move things along.
so I get it right. Two cubs were the one to go and meet with the others. No, with the other Black Furies.
No,
One
Fianna.
of
Fianna.
Fianna.
That's why
You
I went.
went. You went for the Fiannas.
Yes.
Uh,
They were three Fianna.
then one might wonder where was Travis in all this, but
I think he was out doing his challenge. He wasn't here.
yeah.
I thought maybe with the name I had, they wouldn't be angry. And to be honest, they don't seem to care about anything except what they're here to do. I don't think they even registered what my name was. I think, yeah, it was weird because we introduced ourselves properly and there was no reaction at all. She just told us we were being formal and that was silly, and to calm down and just talk to her.
Yeah, that's kind of the way of your people, or at least some of them,
Not,
from what
not.
I think.
Well, most of the ones I've met, which is, a grand total of, well, five now if you count all three of them separately, though one of them slept the whole time.
So, what did they say exactly about Cinna's friend?
They did not know about him specifically. They said that they were here, the Ardry had sent them because a cairn had been destroyed back home. The cairn of the stone had been destroyed. They showed me a picture of the place before. They showed me a picture of the place after it was destroyed and burned. And they showed me the picture of the body and then a close up of the patch he was wearing. They were here to see if they could find more information about who had attacked them, why, and to get, I assume, to get revenge on them. But
Mm.
they are here to find out information. And when we recognized the symbol, I feel like that helped them. it is the symbol of the people who work, well, who are personal guards for Mr. Greenlee. And then when we talked to Cinna, she might have said something about how he was acting different nowadays, how he seemed colder and more aloof, and about how he had been talking about putting down some rebellion against, I guess, his Geodine project, and had said something about them all being behind bars, but I think that part was a lie, and I think that he is the reason that happened.
Yeah, well, when you have tattoo of the White Howler, generally, one might wonder why he's not dead yet.
That was the thing, is that Cinna insisted that back when she knew him before, back when she had spent a lot of time with him, he was a very good and caring person, and that instead of me thinking that maybe that was him being fake, I think that something's gotten to him since then, because now he's acting different. She said that he's very different. He's very cold. He barely seems to. They were very close friends before, and now it's like he barely knows her and doesn't care much for her anymore. So I think something must have happened. He's also the one who funded all of her work, taking pictures of the parks, taking pictures of the natural things around New York and trying to keep them up. He made a very generous donation to her project to help with that. And now he doesn't seem to care.
Mm.
So I get the feeling that is what they will be trying to find out about once they have gone through everything and are able to move around the Sept freely and around the city freely.
Mm. All right. Any other news?
Yes.
Please tell me.
So you've seen and heard about the thing, right? And she just kind of points with a paw up into the sky. I mean, if Lucas was here, he'd move my paw to point the right way, but the thing.
Mm.
Well, so we don't know much about it. So Lucas and I took his van and we went over to the beach. We parked it and it's awakened. So we made sure we were off in a parking deck where no one would be paying attention. Everything was kosher. And we got in the back of the van and we sidestepped. And we spoke to the van and asked if it had any way of helping us get up into the sky quickly, because it's very, very far away. And it connected us to another spirit who was able to do it for us. The van asked in exchange that it get premium gas the next time he gassed it up. The other spirit offered us something to smoke that would help us float. And we were properly cautious about it because it said that in exchange it would see how well the effects worked. So Lucas took a puff off of it first, and I did not, so that we could see what the effects were and make sure it was safe. It just made us kind of float. And it made everything a little easier to see. Things were kind of brighter. So once we were sure that it was safe, we both took a hit off of it. And we used Chimera's blessing to look like the Banes that have been whirling around that thing in the sky. And we floated up, and we stayed a long distance away. We stayed out of their interest. They were all focused on the meteor or whatever it is. And we looked at it, and Lucas drew some pictures, and we peeked through the veil. We didn't put anything through it. We didn't want to gain any attention or, not be able to breathe. but we did get a good look at it, and we saw more than everyone else has. There's machines up there, giant machines that, I mean, they look like they could even be weapons, but Lucas says they're for drilling. And then we saw this monster, this giant thing, and suddenly I was very angry. And I don't know why I got so mad, but I started raving about how no one was taking care of it. And Lucas, I guess, realized what was happening, and he started saying things to make me angrier so that I would turn on him. And then he ran back to the van so that I would chase him away from the thing. And I bit him a couple times. I don't know why. I don't know why I was so mad, but by the time we got back to the van, it told us to calm down, and the next thing I knew, I was in the back of the van and there was a lot of smoke, but everything was calmer, and I hadn't hurt Lucas too badly. But he did manage to draw the things we saw, including that monster. I told him that maybe it's something we should show to you first, because you do know a lot about the worm, and perhaps you will know what it was.
Yes, the Shadow Lord sent me some of Lucas' pictures.
Blink? Who?
Mikhail.
I didn't think he'd shown them to anyone. Oh no, those were the first ones. When they first saw the thing, they
So you,
investigated and he had drawn pictures. We went back. We got a little closer but still stayed far away from it and got better information and brought it back.
I want you to define me the term we.
Lucas and I
Grab ear.
wince.
So, you went alone. On your own. You went Bane investigate. Alone. Not with a Cliff to help you. No, you went alone. With
Assuming she
not.
has enough leeway to do so while he's scolding her, she's going to like roll onto her back. I don't know if he's giving her enough room to do it with the ear clenched like he is, but she's going to try.
Mm, yeah, no, he lets you roll over, but he doesn't seem to care about your
Mm,
rolling over. You didn't even get Garrett with you.
he won't go
Garrett,
into the.
he what?
He doesn't go into the Umbra. He doesn't like to. He only does it for patrols. We thought that if someone else went, they would start a fight. We just wanted to get a look from a distance and not have anything bad happen.
I need to do something through backlink.
That's okay. We can just assume the whole time that she's cowering on the ground while he's chatting through Packlink.
And yeah, through the backlink, a certain Philodox. A certain Philodox will hear the call of his alpha saying that he wants to see Lucas on Seb ground. And the faster the better. And because he seems very angry.
Yes.
Okay, I made sure he was checking it.
With him on a hunt, we'll bring him after. No, does Katori actually give a fuck about such detail?
Probably not. Let's be honest. He's pretty livid right now.
Yeah, I only have 2 rage, but if I had
Hey,
4.
you can still frenzy on 2 rage. I learned that yesterday when I shredded Lucas from the knees down. It was pretty bad.
No. Waiting for the answer of LWOD.
He is typing furiously.
Yes, all the furiousness.
So much furiousness.
That's
As
actually
we watch
Katori.
Katori slowly get angrier and more frustrated.
That's Katori's response through the backlink.
Oh, goodness. The longest ear pinch in history. It hurts so bad.
Actually, I'm going to be zen about it.
Ear pinching so zen. So zen. Oh god, why does it keep getting tighter?
And after that, he looks at Mabe.
She's essentially in lupus going, ow, 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 ow.
He released the ear.
She stays on her back. Though she does start pawing at the ear again, like, please, ever regain feeling, please.
He's just... He's just going to sigh, and he's going to exit. He's going to exit the scene.
Oh, shit. Well, at this point, she's not gonna follow him. That seems like a whole bucket of bad idea. So as Katori departs, leaving the puppy on her back, praying that one day her ear will be an ear again, we will say thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We will see you next time on another episode of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.